course review number 8. So the past 2 lectures, we talked about what is the true value of food waste or agricultural waste. And we talked about different food waste treatments and how we're able to produce a usable energy source called biogas or biodiesel. And this involves the use of anaerobic digesters, which take in things like livestock waste, other human food waste, and human waste. And the most efficient biogas production was through a combination of manure and food waste, as one of the videos we watched in class mentioned. But we also talked about how we can utilize chickens as an efficient consumer of food waste, and from that we can get eggs and chicken meat, and they're also water and energy efficient. And we can also utilize insects as efficient consumers of food waste as well, and they produce biomass as well as protein source and fertilizer, and also I believe certain fat percentage as well. And the second lecture, we talked about ways we can improve our housing and what we need to move towards in the urban areas, especially in terms of efficiency and electrification and decarbonization, as we build new houses and looking for ways to modify our houses. So efficiency refers to things like using energy efficient appliances and just electrification and finding good renewable sources of energy, as well as sources of energy that don't involve carbon emissions, and also having a prosumer perspective of housing and finding ways we can produce energy and not just use up energy. And we also talked about the world's whitest paint and just different technologies that are able to reduce the amount of energy we need to keep our houses cool. And just by doing something as simple as painting the rooftops of our house white or using white tiling like the image suggests, we can improve our energy usage and keep surfaces cooler, especially during the summer and hot weather and hot climates. So this week, the 2 readings were on the true value of food waste, which was discussed in class, but this article discussed just the LCA of food waste recycling programs and the whole food waste, where it comes from and how it gets processed, and the bio and natural gas processing technologies, how they actually do provide a solution to food waste and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. But there's a lot of challenges, especially in China, due to non-systematic and non-standardized industry, and just the need for food waste. Just getting the food waste is hard enough, and also the profitability is not there for producing bio natural gas. And there's a lot of policy support issues and just societal perspective as well that needs to change in order to improve and find value in the usage of food waste to bio natural gas. And then the second reading was understanding how urban food production, or household gardens specifically, can reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And they also analyzed it through LCA, and they also used a really confusing and complex mathematical model to just find the net contribution of what they called alternative household vegetation gardens to change greenhouse gas emissions. And just through that model and sensitivity analysis, they found that these alternative gardens can provide a potential to offset the greenhouse gas emissions, but they found the primary factor that would have improved it was how urban gardens are producing organic waste, and ways that they can improve that would help to improve just the mitigation of efforts of greenhouse gas emissions. And one of the articles that I looked at was on fish waste and just how they can use food waste and fish waste in the aquaculture industry in China. So there's a need for alternatives to raw fish meal protein sources and just reduce current dependence on marine fish resources so that they're able to produce more and provide more, since fish is the major food source for China and other countries. And just utilizing things like fish waste and okara, which is a soybean waste product from producing tofu, and also just general food waste as substitutes for the raw fish meal. And they've found that even though there might be some differences in like protein, the amount of protein that is bioavailable, it's still a nutritious source that they can use, and especially okara should be used. But it's just different. Like there's just a lot of difficulties in making feed from alternative ingredients, and there's also not a lot of research done on it, especially for fish. But this also comes down to like the food waste and how China has been processing food waste. There's just it's just a lot of unknowns, and because due to a lot of unregulation or little regulation in the national level for food waste recycling, so it's hard to formulate nutritious fish feed from food waste, especially from food waste compared to okara and fish meal. Finally, some takeaways. There's a lot of research and knowledge and also technology that has already been developed to just reduce food waste, and through food waste recycling programs and also biogas converters and just things we can add to our homes like energy efficient appliances and like the white paint. But we just need a lot of policy support and regulations for food waste recycling programs and management just in general. And also we need to change societal perspective to understand the importance of like food waste and how different human contributions and factors that just the human population makes towards the earth, and how that can reduce and also affect global just greenhouse gas emissions and also climate change overall. Thank you.